happy Easter and welcome to our virtual day at the zoo. I'm here at the bush dog enclosure. My name is Leila and I'm about to introduce you to our two newest additions to the zoo, Jessica and Tiago. So Jessica and Tiago arrived here in November and they moved down to our first impressions enclosure where they are now, in December time. And they've only really just started to find their feet. So they've started to venture outside. The weather's nicer, so they've started to swim. Bush dogs are really fascinating animals. They're not just known as bush dogs, they are known as water dogs as well. And the reason for that is because they absolutely love going swimming. And they've also got these webbed feet, which are incredible, which make them really, really good at doggy paddling. So these two are inseparable. Bush dogs are normally, the groups are normally comprised of an alpha male and an alpha female. So they've come here as the alpha male and alpha female. They've not yet bred. So we are waiting for the pitter-patter of tiny bush dog paws, and we're very, very hopeful that that will happen in the near future. But they will be the alpha male and female, and then the rest of the group, when they do have pups, will become the subordinates, and that will be kind of how they are, and they will just run this entire area. Now they are on their own at the moment, and we are going to mix them with the Andean bears. This isn't happening just yet. We're just letting them find their feet. We didn't want them to move here, not know where they were, and then have bears and other animals to deal with. So what we've done is we've settled them in very nice and slowly, let them establish their area. And then what we're going to do is let them meet the bears very slowly and eventually have them mixed. Now we know this works because other zoos have done this fine. So bush dogs and Andean bears have lived harmoniously in other zoos. I think they just ignore each other. It's like a coexistence, and we have such a big area, it would be a shame not to be able to have a mixed exhibit. So they will be sharing this home with bears eventually, so watch out for that. And we'll be doing that soon. And as well, the howler monkeys will be living with them. Now they have been mixed already, and the first meeting went very, very well. The bush dogs and the howler monkeys completely ignored each other. As you can imagine, the howler monkeys are tree-dwelling animals and the bush dogs are floor-dwelling animals. So it kind of works really well. They don't have to get in each other's way, and they can just ignore each other and do their own things at their own height. So yeah, that's worked okay, and eventually we'll have everybody living together in a big group. Now we have, like I say, two bush dogs at the moment, and we are hoping for babies. The gestation period of bush dogs is between 63 to 68 days. So we're hoping that really soon, as soon as they start mating, Jessica will get pregnant, and then it won't be too long before we see puppies. So we've all got our fingers crossed for that. Another interesting fact about bush dogs is they are known as vinegar dogs. Now the reason for this is because they, as a group, do produce a pungent vinegar smell. Now I can't say that I've noticed it with Jessica and Tiago. I don't know if they're just particularly non-vinegary smelling, but yeah, I know that speaking to other zoos that when they're in a larger group they do produce a vinegar smell. So you never know, once we do have a big group, you might be able to have a big waft of vinegar as you walk past, but we'll see. No vinegar smell so far though. So bush dogs in the wild, you would find them in South and Central America, which is why we have them down here. So First Impressions, as this area is called, or the cloud forest, is home to animals that are from South and Central America. So the Andean bears are South America, and so are the howler monkeys, and that's why we thought a great addition would be the bush dogs, because you know they geographically would be in the same sort of area. So yeah, we're trying to sort of recreate something that would be in the wild as well. Bush dogs are near threatened in the wild. The reason they are near threatened is because of habitat destruction, but also from diseases that domestic dogs can pass on. So they are very vulnerable to that, and as your domestic dogs would be vaccinated against it, obviously the wild dogs aren't. So they're very vulnerable to things like that. The bush dogs have lots of enrichment items, so things that we let them play with, and you know, just things that keep them entertained throughout the day so they don't get bored. The males like to sort of pick things up and take them to the nest. They're very attentive to the females. So anything that I would put in, we'd use bits of fire hose, we'd use kongs, things like that. Even if they were empty with nothing to eat inside, Tiago would pick them up and carry them round, and we found that really quickly that he really loved to do this. And also just scattering their bedding round seems to keep them entertained for hours. They like to make their own beds and things like that. So yeah, they're really easy to sort of entertain, and they entertain themselves as well. And they've got such an amazing outdoor area that they can just kind of spend all day outside, entertaining themselves, and they don't seem to get bored at all. So thank you very much for joining us here at the Bush Dog Enclosure, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your virtual day at the zoo. If you haven't yet come to see our bush dogs, please come down and have a look at them. They're very entertaining. You'll probably find them outside or swimming around in the moat. So yeah, come and give us a visit.